Coming up on American Top 20, we'll take a look back at the career of Billy Preston, a musician who was so important to the Beatles, he received a co-credit on one of their biggest hits.
Casey counts them down.
Hi, my name's Casey Kasem. This is American Top 40. Welcome to our weekly countdown of the 40 best-selling songs in the USA. The list we use is from the most authoritative survey in the record business, Billboard's Hot 100. 5 new songs on American Top 40 this week. Let's get it started on our way to number 1.
Number 40.
One of the most respected keyboard artists in the business, born in Houston, raised in Los Angeles, Billy Preston debuts with his second Top 40 chart record, Out of Space.
American Top 40.
Here's Billy Preston, who started playing piano at about 3 years old, and he was encouraged by his mother, who was an actress and once played Sapphire on the Amos and Andy radio show. Here's Billy Preston at number 19 with Will It Go Round in Circles.
I've got a song, I ain't got no melody.
Here we go with the final hour of American Top 40 on our way to a brand new number 1. By the way, I was in Hawaii a couple of weeks ago working as an actor in a segment of Hawaii Five-0. And I'd like to say thank you to Wayne Harada, the entertainment editor of the Honolulu Advertiser, for the fine article he did on me and the American Top 40 staff. Wayne, if you're listening there on Radio Kapoi, mahala and aloha. And right now, I have the current smash by the genius of the organ keyboard, who says about his success, I always seem to be at the right place at the right time, but I think that's just a part of God's overall blessings on me. Billy Preston has been best known as a super session man, probably the greatest accompanist of the rock era. He met the Beatles way back in 1962, before they were world famous. It was in Hamburg, Germany, where he was on tour with Little Richard, and the Beatles were playing a small club across town. And he's been appearing on quite a few of their records ever since. While he was a regular musician on the old Shindig show, he met the Rolling Stones, and he's worked with them many, many times, too. The list of superstars Billy Preston has worked with seems endless. There's Ray Charles, Barbra Streisand, Carole King, Sly Stone, and on and on and on. I guess it could be said he became a star in his own right when George Harrison featured him in the concert for Bangladesh. Since then, he's made several very successful solo albums, and here at number 11 this week, the single from his current LP, Billy Preston's Space Race.
American Top 40.
This is Charlie Van Dyke. Casey Kasem will be back next week. And now we're up to the song by the musician who broke into show business when he was only 10 years old, playing organ accompaniment for the woman acclaimed as the greatest gospel singer the world has ever known, the late Mahalia Jackson. The artist's name is Billy Preston, and show business runs in his family. His mother had played the role of Sapphire in the Amos and Andy traveling stage show, and little Billy began learning music from the time he could reach the keyboard. By the time he was 10, he was recognized as a child prodigy. And when his church, and this was in Los Angeles, presented a concert with Mahalia Jackson's traveling gospel show, this 10-year-old organ player was asked to accompany Mahalia. Now, it happened that in the audience was a man from Paramount Pictures, the man who was producing St. Louis Blues, the life story of the father of the blues, W.C. Handy. And at the concert, the producer saw the kid he was looking for to play W.C. Handy as a child. So, Billy Preston, before he was even a teenager, went from backing the great Mahalia Jackson to acting in a motion picture in 1958 that starred the greatest black entertainers in the business, including Nat King Cole, Eartha Kitt, Ruby Dee, Pearl Bailey, and Cab Calloway. And that was just the beginning for the soul and rock star who's gone on to hit the top 5 on the pop charts 4 times, including 2 number 1s, Billy Preston. Now 33 years old, here's Billy in a duet with Sarita at number 17 this week. With You, I'm Born Again.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
Well, now let's take a look back at the career of Billy Preston, a musician who was so important to the Beatles, he received a co-credit on one of their biggest hits. When Billy Preston died recently at age 59, much was made of his connection with the Beatles, and it was an impressive connection. Billy played keyboards for the Beatles on their albums Let It Be, Abbey Road, and The White Album. Billy was such a big part of the Beatles' music that they credited their number 1 smash, Get Back, to the Beatles with Billy Preston. But had the Beatles never existed, Billy Preston would still have been a star. As a child, he performed with gospel greats like Mahalia Jackson and the Reverend James Cleveland. In the early 60s, he toured constantly with both Ray Charles and Little Richard. Over the years, Billy played with Aretha Franklin, Bob Dylan, Sam Cooke, Sammy Davis Jr., the Rolling Stones, the Jackson 5, Barbra Streisand, and with John, Paul, George, and Ringo as solo stars. And he had a solo career of his own as well, hitting big with Will It Go Round in Circles, Nothing from Nothing, and a song he sang at my wedding to Jean, With You, I'm Born Again. That's our remembrance of the remarkable Billy Preston. I'm Casey Kasem. Now, on with the survey.